Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here with us today, and special welcome to all the dignitaries, Dr. Rakesh Bhatnagar sir, Dr. Amit Jain sir, Dr. Manju Kaushik ma'am, Mr. Deepak Harol sir, and Mr. Nishant Gupta sir. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now, as well as those who are new to the organization. So fasten your seatbelt as IEEE Student Branch, in association with ACM Student Chapter, Amity University, Rajasthan, is here with the coding contest Code Sprint 1.0 to identify top programmers and problem solvers in the community. The participants can show their talent and get a chance to win awards and e-certificates. To start the event on an auspicious note, we would begin with our traditional lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to knowledge.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहा।
Now I would like to call upon Dr. Manju Kaushik ma'am, Branch Counselor, IEEE ACM AUR, Member Execom, IEEE Rajasthan Subsection. Ma'am, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Respected Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Rakesh Bhatnagar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Amit Jain, Sir, respected HOIs, Dean Directors, my colleagues, and dear students. A very good morning to all. I, Dr. Manju Kaushik, welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of Code Sprint 1.0 and launch of IEEE ACM Newsletter Volume 1. Sometimes called individualistic learning, the competitive classroom is the more traditional form of learning. Students study alone and complete their own assignments while trying to learn and present subject matters. In this type of setting, students may become competitive with each other for the best grades and for your recognition. Children face the real world challenge of competition. Students are encouraged to do their very best. Independent thinking and efforts are encouraged and rewarded. It can be a great way to enliven the classroom environment. At IEEE ACM Student Branch of Amity University, Rajasthan, we thrive to come up with the event and program like Code Sprint 1.0 to make learning an interactive experience of our audience. Code Sprint 1.0 is a coding contest which involves a 6 set of mathematical competitive programming style problems which are expected to be solved within a duration of 24 hours. Contestants must write efficient code to solve and pass each test case on a particular program or particular problem. The idea behind Code Sprint is that we want people to learn while competing. This contest will give a platform and a stage to notice students who are great at problem solving. The competition is designed to appreciate and reward talent in the domain of maths and computer science. With 200 plus registration for CodeSprint, we are elated to have provided a perfect platform of our participants to compete and learn together. If the event is a success, we plan on making it an annual contest as well. IEEE ACM student branch at AUR has always focused on keeping students on the front foot, giving them multiple opportunities to tackle the world at a global level and making them industry ready. With CodeSprint, we hope to bring this platform to our participants as well. The contest will tremendously help you all to overcome obstacles and enhance your problem solving skills. We hope you make the best out of CodeSprint 1.0. IEEE ACM student chapters, MIT University Jaipur, also proudly present the very first edition of IEEE ACM newsletter, Tidbits, Volume 1. Thank you. Thank you. Over to Srishti.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving forward, let's welcome our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean Faculty of Management at AUR, Dr. Amit Jain, sir, to address this event. Prior to this, sir was Director International Collaborations and Professor at TAPMI.
Thank you, Srishti. I believe all our students are present and by now they know me all. Thank you so much for a warm welcome and your kind and generous introduction. It's a matter of indeed great pleasure and pride that the IEEE and ACM chapters, student chapters at MIT University, Rajasthan are organizing this wonderful event. I was going through the, the format of the event and I was really impressed because this is an event and a competition that checks both the accuracy as well as the speed. So that is what matters in the world today, right? You have to be fast. I often tell my students that, when you're working in the corporate world, you are like running on a treadmill. And the only difference between the treadmill and the corporate world is that you don't get to set the speed. The speed has been set by the market. Now, the only option left to you is you have to run with the speed at which treadmill is running. If you are slower than the treadmill, it will throw you out. If you are faster than the treadmill, then also you will fall down. So that is what the world of business, the world of, the corporate world is like. And in such a competitive environment, it is very important for our students to be equally competitive. They need to be fast, they need to be skilled, they need to be knowledgeable, and they need to have right kind of attitude and habits to take up such challenges again and again. So congratulations to the entire team headed by Dr. Manju Kaushik and the wonderful student volunteers who got together to plan, organize and execute this event. My best wishes to all the participants. I would like to place on record my special appreciation and gratitude to both the keynote speakers, and as I understand, probably they'll be helping you in judging the event also. So my thanks to Mr. Deepak Kharol, who is the co-founder of Skillo Villa, right? And my appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Nishan Gupta, who is a decision scientist at Mu Sigma Inc. So you have wonderful speakers, you have wonderful judges and mentors who will be guiding the students. So it's a great start to the event and I wish a great success to the event. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor AUR, Dr. Rakesh Bhatnagar, sir. Sir pioneered the teaching and research in biotechnology at Jawaharlal Nehru University, the first of its kind in the country. Sir is well known for developing recombinant vaccine against anthrax, the technology of which has been transferred to the industry, and the vaccine has successfully completed phase first and second human clinical trials. One of his significant contributions in the field of research and innovation has been the development of drug resistance TB diagnostics in collaboration with one of the topmost diagnostic companies. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for kind words. Uh, I think every time I hear the same thing, so I feel kind of embarrassed. But I think by this time everybody knows my background. But maybe for the keynote speakers, if they don't know me, it would have been a nice introduction. Thank you. Uh, my uh, my dear colleague, Professor Amit Jain, Professor Manju Kaushik, my keynote speakers, Deepak Kharol, as well as Nishan Gupta from the corporate world. I'm very glad that this kind of event has been organized, where students are exposed to competitive spirit, and particularly in the area of coding. I was once, reading about Bill Gates. Everybody knows Bill Gates. He's a billionaire, founder of Microsoft. When he was a young student in the school, he was very good in mathematics, and he always wanted to work on computers. And he will bunk his classes and go to the computer lab and try to work on computer. So the teacher complained to the principal that this Bill Gates doesn't come to the class, he bunks the class. So principal called him, and he was told that you are not allowed to go to a computer lab, you have to sit in the class. You are only allowed to go to the... So he was banned entry in computer lab, and he was very upset about it. After some times, there was a computer virus which infected their computer lab, and nobody knew how to fix it. We are talking about, maybe early 60s or maybe late 60s. And then when nobody could fix the bug, Bill Gates offered that if you give me a chance to go to the computer lab, I can try to fix it on a condition that if I fix the bug, then I will have free access to the computer lab, and the punishment which he has been given not to enter the computer lab will be revoked. Principal agreed. And he said, okay, go ahead and try to fix the bug. And Bill Gates went and fixed the bug after, a lot of efforts. Bill Gates was very fond of coding, everybody knows. Even when he founded Microsoft, he was the owner of the company, but still he used to do a lot of coding. That's what he enjoyed. And I think that is the most important thing. And mathematics is the, skill you should have. You should have interest in mathematics. Otherwise, you cannot be a good coding person. Let me again relate to my daughter. She was a very good student, and she always used to get 100 out of 100 in mathematics. And when she did her BTech in electronics and communication engineering, she wanted to go abroad for PhD. So she wrote a very good GRE. She got 99.7 percentile worldwide, and the subject GRE for computer sciences, she got 99.89 percentile. So she could get admission anywhere she wanted. but she chose Georgia Institute of Technology, which was number 8 at that time in computer sciences. And once she joined computer sciences, she had a choice to decide what does she want to do. And since she was very good in mathematics, she decided to go for theory of computing, which is again more mathematics. And after finishing her PhD and teaching for a while on a temporary position in visiting position in University of California at Berkeley, which is also always in the top 10, she could get a tenure track position and got tenured in mathematics department. So she enjoys her mathematics and she tries to teach young minds theory of computing. So I'm very glad that you have chosen a very good topic for students to compete in their coding ability. I'm sure some of them will follow the footsteps of Bill Gates, and one day they will become billionaire and they may form a company, maybe IndiaSoft or something like that. With all these words, I wish you all the best, all the contestants, that they should work hard. Winners may be few, but I think the process is more important, that they will go through the drill, which will make them interested in coding abilities, which are very, very, very important in computer sciences. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to ask for his permission to inaugurate the first of IEEE ACM AUR's newsletter on his behalf.
That was the very first newsletter from IEEE ACM AUR side. Thank you all. Srishti, may we proceed now?
Yes, they do.
It is true that the accolades do not come from the words that we utter, but from the words that we live by. Thank you all for joining us, and special thanks to all the dignitaries, Professor Rakesh Bhatnagar sir, Professor Amit Jain sir, Dr. Manju Kaushik ma'am, Mr. Deepak Kolar, and Mr. Nishant Gupta, who spared their valuable time to come here and impart their valuable words. We also would like to thank the Amity administration and IT department who gave us their full support in making this event possible. And moving forward, we would also like to thank all the student members and the contestants that are here today, and the members and the teams who worked relentlessly to make this event possible. With that, we move on to the second phase, the technical session. Srishti, I would like you to take it from here. Thank you.
Now we move forward to the next phase of the ceremony, that is the technical session with the keynote speech on what is the art of problem solving using data by Mr. Deepak Koral sir, which is the co-founder of the EdTech startup called Skillovilla. Sir started it with an aim to provide a robust platform for youngsters to hone their skills and pursue their dream jobs globally in the field of data analytics, data science, and machine learning, irrespective of their education or economic background. Sir wants to create a niche, highly skilled tribe of learners through Skillovilla who become the masters of this data-driven industry. Over to you. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the event, please type them into the question box in your control panel. We will bring them up during the event, and we will also have time for questions at the end. Over to you, Deepak sir.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction. This is the first time I'm actually having any kind of webinar for college students, and like I couldn't agree more with Mr. Bhatnagar. He is very right at each and everything. Like unfortunately, what happens, like students are not admiring these kind of things at very start of their career, but whatever he has actually told, it's very, very true. You need to ask right questions to yourself, and probably start finding answers. And I can see that most of the people are not able to create a very big career. There's a difference between job and career. Why people are not able to make a very big career? Because somehow they are not able to understand what is the most important skill set they basically need to survive in the corporate world. So that's why like when I graduated from IT Delhi in 2013, one question I was asking at that point of time, if I want to start my own company after maybe like 7 or 8 years, what kind of skill sets I need to have? Or maybe like you can ask any other question as well, like maybe like after 8 years of experience, let's say you want to become a director of any company, or maybe like want to handle a team of maybe like 50 or 60 odd people, what kind of skill set you need to have? Those kind of questions are very, very important. And when I was just 23-year-old guy, and the answer was, you have to be a very good problem solver, because every single company is looking for a very good problem solver in every single field, be it coding, be it marketing, data analytics, data science, operations, growth, you name the field. And the people who are really at top of the food chain are very good problem solvers. They are very good at data, and they can articulate things in such a way that the answers are right there on the table. So in my opinion, the problem solving is the most important skill set. And from that I started my career, and to learn the problem solving skill. At that point of time, I thought that probably I should get an opportunity where I would be working under any CXO level guy. So in my entire career, I was reporting to CXO level guys for each and every company. Last time I was part of growth and strategy team of Swiggy. I was reporting directly to CEO of Swiggy, Vishal Bhatia, and that's how I built that common sense and business sense, how to basically see the business and how to start your own business. Yeah, but back to the same thing. So let's say that was my goal, that I really want to start my own company. But even if you really want to make a very, very bright future, you need to ask very specific question to yourself, and you need to write down the answer on a piece of paper, and then you start identifying what kind of things you need to make sure in next 4 or 5 or 6 years, whatever. So like the thing is, the very, very first thing you need to understand that career is not a 100-meter sprint race. It's a marathon. Okay, people are thinking, okay, maybe in 5 or 6 years, I would be maybe like earning 1 crore or 2 crores or whatever. Okay, so the thing is, you are going to work for like next 30 or 40 years, and it's a very long time. Okay, so don't think of quick wins. Think for the right skill sets, which will make sure that you have a very good path ahead of you, even at an age of 35 or 40. And even at age of 45 or maybe like 50, you are not out of the market. Okay, so the thing is, like, technology keep on evolving, but the thing is, if you're not a good problem solver, then you won't be able to adapt in the new world. And that's the like core skill set of all the leaders right now in the market, who are basically running big companies, and they are very, very successful. And I'm not even talking about salary. Salary is just a byproduct of whatever you are doing. So the core skill set is basically the problem solving in being anywhere. So I have seen that people are actually struggling with their career in data science, data analytics, or coding. And I tell you why. So the thing is, there are two or three problems. The very first thing is they don't know what is important, what is not important. Okay, and internet is a very bad world. Like if you just search, okay, what are the things you need to make sure so that you become a very good data scientist, probably you'll get these kind of articles like learn computer vision, or maybe like learn deep learning or something like that. Probably to start a career in data science, this is not required. Probably like you should be good at maybe like just 4 or 5 algorithms, and very good at these algorithms in a very, very deep way. Something like maybe a logistic linear, or maybe random forest clustering algorithm, something like that. If you are good at this and you can answer any kind of question, I can guarantee that you'll get a job in the market as a data scientist, and you will get a very good job. In fact, you will be challenged each and every day with a very good problem, with a new problem. So that's how you will start the career in data analytics, data science. Sorry. As far as the data analytics is concerned, probably you will you have to understand that like how to read a business, how maybe like what are the most important things which you will look at in the data to make a sense out of what is happening in the business. I'm not sure how many of you actually know how to read profit and loss statement. It's a very, very important thing. I don't know how many of you understand what is the difference between balance sheet and all these things. Maybe like what is the marketing strategy, or maybe like what is like a different kind of frameworks to understand the business. Okay, so like if you are going for data analytics, you need to be very good at the understanding of the business. Okay, so but the thing is, the most of the efforts from the student side, it is towards learning the technical aspect, which in my opinion, it's fine, but you need to understand that why you are being hired in a company. You are being hired in the company to solve some kind of problem with your expertise, be in data or data science. So technical part is definitely there, but the uber objective, like someone is actually hiring you for, is basically for problem solving, and you need to learn the art of problem solving. And that's why I started building Skillovilla, to make sure that we can provide both the things simultaneously on a single platform. So we believe that like for example, Amit is actually responsible for training the students and making sure that they are getting placed in the companies, right? So the same kind of stuff we really want to do. We really want to do in some specific fields. We will start with zero, and we'll make sure that the guy is basically getting placed from our TMP department as well. So that's how we are trying to solve the problem, and that is the most important part. After I have seen people after 10 years and 12 years, they are stuck in their career. They don't know how to basically grow, and they are also coming back to us, what to do, what not to do. And then we are basically guiding them how to make sure that you have a very long career ahead and you have the right skill sets, which will make sure that you are relevant in the market. So with that thing, the whole idea of Skillovilla started, and we are here to help students. Like we like all the co-founders were very fortunate that we were at the right place at the right time, but that's not the case for approximately 95% of the students in India. And we really want to make sure that all of them understand what is required to get a very, very prospering career. Yeah, so that's all from my side. I'm happy to take any kind of questions you have.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak. Thank you. Yes, Srishti.
Yes, so we have one question from Prashant Goswami. So I believe understanding of stats, probes, etc. are important for data science instead of just using the libraries and writing the code.
Yeah, absolutely. So that when I say the problem solving, that means it includes a good programming skills, how to apply statistics in real world, and the third thing is how to use mathematics and machine learning to not manipulate is not a right word, to basically formulate data in such a way that you will have some interesting insights. So all these three things are important, and in fact the mathematics is the core part of data science. If someone says I'm giving you like very, very blunt statement that if someone says that, just learn Python and SQL, you will become a data scientist, block that guy. It doesn't happen like that. You have to be good at mathematics and machine learning, and that's the core part of data science and data analytics as well. Yeah, so all these things are very, very important. They are more important as compared to code. You can learn coding. If you just start a job in 4 or 5 months, you will understand how to write a code in Python, but the logic you want to apply using the code, that is the most important part.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call upon Mr. Nishant Gupta, sir, decision scientist at Mu Sigma Incorporation, who has designed and implemented descriptive and predictive solutions in automotive, CGP, and retail space, and has a diverse experience while working in energy analytics industry for iteration of rules and marking schemes. Over to you, sir.
Thanks for the wonderful intro, Srishti. And it's always a privilege to be a part of Amity community. And I think I conducted a 1 hour long webinar last year along with IEEE and ACM student chapter on the topic data science with a design thinking mindset. Right. So this whole topic is very close to me. And this is something which I re-emphasize to college students and people who are planning to make a career in data science industry. Right. And again, thanks to IEEE student branch and ACM student chapter for having me here. And I think you have kept pace with the virtual transition which is going on in the world, and you have organized all of these events really well. So kudos to you and all the best for this event as well, right? And before I get into the rules and the evaluation criteria, I would like to talk about problem solving and again why is it relevant, right? So as already covered by Deepak sir and Bhatnagar sir really well, I think they captured pretty much all the aspects. But I'll start with a quote that first solve the problem and then start writing the code, right? And I've emphasized this again and again that it's important to think of data science, Python, R as an enabler, right? They're just an enabler. It doesn't depend on what tech stack you're building the solution on. Rather, it's important to think about the solution approach, right? And that is something people miss out upon. They start with Kaggle and a lot of data science courses. They go into hands-on material without thinking about the aspect they're trying to solve. And having worked with industry for almost 2 years, let me be very frank. The success rate of all the predictive analytics solutions is less than 20%, right? So what happens is a business will give you a challenge, right? Let's say they want inventory optimization as one of their problem, and they want to optimize the inventory allocation, right? So by the time you'll implement the solution on Python, let's say, and you'll deploy the solution, you'll see that the business priorities has changed or the solution is not at all consumable, right? That's the point when you realize that implementation is a quick game, right? You have all the libraries available. Implementing a model is a secondary thing. The first thing is aligning your goals with the end consumer goals and thinking about what problem are you trying to solve, right? So also this is an example which I repeat in every webinar. Let's say you are making a predictive model for diabetes prediction, okay? And for solving any of these problems, you need a data set, right? Let's say you have a data set of 100 data points, and out of 100 data points, only two of the patients are diabetic, right? So you might start making a very naive model and you'll get 99% accuracy, and you might be like, hey boss, I've made a very fancy model, but is it really tested on the actual data, or something really justifiable? No, right? So people often skip about confusion matrix in that case, right? So I know I've drifted a bit towards data science aspect, but whether it be product development or software engineering, consulting, data science, I think problem solving approach is key to everything, right? And Mark Zuckerberg once said that a great engineer is worth 100 average engineers. So keep that in mind whenever you try to solve any problem. All right. And like one important suggestion to all the participants before you get into solving each of the 6 problems you'll get in the competition, try to take 5 or 10 minutes, think about the problem, think about how you'll optimize the solution, right? And the reason why I'm stressing upon optimization is in industry, sometimes, for example, you're looking at Amazon basket, right? The recommendation engine has to, do all the magic in 5 seconds, right? So that's where optimization comes in really handy, right? And that's why people stress a lot on competitive programming, even though that might not be the end job you're doing in a company, right? In the end, you'll be developing an app or something, right? But is the backend logic fast enough? Is it able to reduce the latency in your programming process or not? That's the key, right? So, having said that, I can talk about this for more than 2 hours, but yeah, so I think I'll get into the rules and everything. So, I think the participants must have seen the problem statement already, but I'll reiterate each of the major points. So you'll have 6 mathematical competitive style problem statements, and you have to solve them over the next 24 hours. And in terms of the criteria on which your solution will be weighted on is the primary criteria would be the number of problems you solve, and the second one would be the time taken to solve the problem, and that secondary aspect will come into picture when there's a clash or conflict between 2 participants, right? And in terms of the weightage of each and every problem, you'll have 6 problems rated from A to F in their order of difficulty, with problem A having 100 points, and with an increment of 100 points, I think the problem F will have 600 points. So a total, or the maximum you can get, is around 2100. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And since the competition is being hosted on CodeChef, make sure you have an account on that. If not, just make it really quick. And anything I'm missing out upon, again, regardless, to mention that make sure you do it the right way. Right? I think CodeChef platform is good enough, and I think the team is good enough to detect any sort of plagiarism. So yeah, having said that, make sure you make out the best of this competition, take it as a learning process. And the competition will start at 12:30, right? And the link has been shared by Shrishti, I think, Sakshi on the chat itself. And yeah, I'll stop right here and open to any questions, doubts. And if it is about data science, feel free to ask over here or connect with me on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much. I would like to tell all the participants that the link that we've shared in the chat box will be live at 12:30 sharp. We'll also mail the link to you so you can access it from there as well. So all the best to everyone. With this, if you guys have any questions, feel free to take it up with us right now.
I have a question to Mr. Gupta.
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay. Is it, these problems are real, or they are already solved and you are just testing the ability of the students to solve it?
You mean the problems in the competition, right?
Yeah.
I think, I don't think I'm the right person. Nakshatra or Sakshi, could you help me over here?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, sure. So actually, sir, the problems are already solved and the editorials are available, but the last few of the problems are not. and those are actually where the highest marks lie.
Good, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So it's a mix of both. And so students will be tested on that, how creative they are in solving the questions that contain higher marks. So I think everything is clear with the participants, and we'll be sharing the contest link as well on their mails. So do check it out, and all the best to everyone. With this, we come to the end of our inaugural ceremony, and we do initiate, and we come to the beginning of this contest, Code Sprint 1.0. Thank you all of us for joining us. Thank you again, the dignitaries core team, for making this event possible, IT and administration, and all the students and participants present here.